everybody. I am so excited to be able to do another pre event interview with one of our amazing speakers at the Small Business Virtual Extravaganza. So I'm here with Cheryl Lynn of Joyly. Let me bring her to our stage. There she is. Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me today, Blaney. Such a pleasure to be here.
Oh, well, I'm so excited to talk to the universe here about what you're going to be speaking on and then getting them excited about why they need to take time out of their busy schedule to attend the Small Business Virtual Extravaganza, which I forgot to tell everybody last time is October 14th and 15th. So that's coming up this Friday and Saturday. So tell us a little bit about you and why you're excited about speaking on our virtual stage.
Well, first of all, we are all busy, but we don't get to choose busy when it comes to our passions and our purposes. So the fact that you invited me to this exploratory relationship and conversation about entrepreneurism is just kicking me up to a whole new level myself, personally and professionally. I've been excited to talk about it. The response has been phenomenal. I'm one of the top people who are bringing in guests, so I absolutely cannot wait. We're part of the booth, and we have got our team coming, and we've got an extraordinary conversation to have with people on this coming weekend.
Well, fantastic. And like you said, a lot of our attendees are entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. And I don't know about you, but I've been one since the age of 7. So I have lots of experience in that world. And one of the things I think I value, though, so much is the coaching and the experience and learning from other entrepreneurs, right? Because
Yes.
the time to be a solopreneur is great, but the Lone Ranger thing has got to go.
Absolutely. The topic of my speech coming up on this weekend, or actually I'm at noon or 12:10 on Friday the 14th, is the thing that you need the most for success is free. Now, I'm not saying success is free because there's so many resources and product research and inventory and time that we have to invest. But the number one thing that entrepreneurs need is literally free. And we're going to talk about what that is on the event. And before we talk a little bit more about that, what do you think is the number one goal of every entrepreneur, Blaney? What would you say is the goal of each of us? For you, maybe specifically.
Right. Well, I think, I don't know, for me personally, I obviously want to be successful, but I want work life balance. Right. So I
Yes.
don't want to be successful at the cost of missing important things with my kids or my family. That's what's really important to me.
I think so too. And I think that what happens as we go through our days as entrepreneurs, we make the profitability of our companies a priority. And sometimes we forget to engage in exactly what you're saying, which is to change how people are currently doing business or how they perceive or understand certain things. Our products and our research can help people change how they live their lives. And I know through Joyly and the Chair of Joy experience, that's exactly what we were doing. In fact, exactly what we were doing. In fact, one woman, as a testimonial, just sent me over the weekend that her Chair of Joy experience that we teach had impacted her on a $7 million deal that saved her. This saved her keeping that contract. So there is so many things to talk about in entrepreneurialism, but I think one thing that we have to put on the front burner, absolutely have to, and that's why this MBX event is so important, and that is to find out what is most important in our day-to-day lives. And for me, it's feeling better. When I feel better, when I raise my standard of how I live and what makes me feel good, I automatically make better decisions. And I think together as a group, when we support each other, as you said, in this environment, it is the ability to skyrocket through the moon is what's possible for all of us.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And you're going to give us some great takeaways and aha moments and some golden nuggets. And one of the things when I created this event, 2 years ago now, this is our fifth one. One of the things I didn't want it to be is a pitch fest, right? I want it to be value like focused. So every one of our speakers has to deliver value for 30 minutes or so before they can make a little offer, which a lot of those are free. Like that is
Yeah.
amazing that the gifts that the speakers are giving at the end. And then for me, I really love the live Q&A part of this because I remember I'm actually in that video, if you saw, that was actually me speaking on a stage in front of 8,000 people, right? Back in the day when we did that. But I remember when we would take Q&A live and the MC would walk around with the microphone and say, Cheryl, do you have a question? Ask it, of the speaker. And then you could almost have a two-way conversation. Did that answer your question? Do you need a follow-up, question? But nowadays on summits, so many times people are just typing in their questions and it gets lost in the translation and they may not be getting the answer because the question may not be posed correctly. So when you show up live for any of our speaker events, you will have the ability to grab the mic and come to stage and have a conversation, ask your question live, give feedback or whatever. Just give a great thank you for, putting on this great presentation. So that's one of the things I love about why our platform is not like all the other summits that are out there where you just sit and listen and then boom, you're on to the next one, boom, on to the next one, boom. Like, no, like this is a platform that is so interactive that we actually gamified it, Charlene. We gamified it. So like if they show up live for your presentation, they get points. If they raise their hand and ask a question, they get points. If they come to the stage, they get points. If they go to the vendor booth, you said you're going to have a vendor booth. We have virtual exhibitor booths where you may or may not be in there, but your information is in there. And sometimes you can be in there, like you said, your team's coming. They can hang out in your booth and they can talk to some of the attendees and give out information just like a real live conference would be. So we've
Yeah.
got such fun planned for you guys. If you haven't picked up your pass, get down there, go to mbxsbve.com. We also are a huge proponent of networking, right? I love going to conferences because I love who am I going to meet in the chair next to me or who am I going to meet in the lobby or in the line to the bathroom. That's where I always met the coolest people, right? So we have a 24 lounge where you can pop in between sessions because there's about a 10-minute break between some of the sessions. You can pop in and we actually have designated one-on-one time. So if you want to just pop in there and network and meet some of the speakers and meet some of the attendees, I'll tell you this event I think you're really going to love. And I'm so glad that you chose to be a part of this event, Sherilyn.
I've been doing events for so long, Blaney, that when you started talking about that you can actually hear and see and have each other be seen and heard, it just put me through the roof. I was just at a Vegas corporate event all last week, and just being in the booth and having conversations with people and seeing their eyes and giving them hugs, it was just really phenomenal. So I'm so much looking forward to this and telling stories about, why doing what's important on a daily basis is so valuable, and hearing the stories from people. This is the chair that I actually carry around the country, and my podcast is called If Diamonds Could Talk. So we gather really beautiful stories and testimonials, and we intend to gather more of those throughout the booth and at the event as well. So I'm so thankful you're Blaney for doing this, and I feel like the takeaways are going to be so powerful because you've personally set this up so amazing and so different than most others on the circuit. So thank you again.
Well, I thank you so much. So if you are watching us right now and you know of somebody that is an entrepreneur, but not just entrepreneurs, anybody that has a small business, even direct sales, or even if you're a sales professional, I think we call them intrapreneurs, right? Where like you might work for somebody else, but you're still in charge of your own leads or your own business. I know that was me for a very long time. I actually sold new homes, but I ran that like it was my business, right? It was my subdivision. It was everything I did. So I was technically an employee at that time, which is probably the only time in my life I was an employee of anybody, but I still treated it as my own business. So if that is you, then you need to make sure that you pick up your own pass, and it's free. We're not charging for this. All of our speakers are giving value because they want to make an impact on the world and help people like you. And then in the comments, feel free to tag any friends, any colleagues, anybody that you know, and share this video. Let them know that this event is coming up and we only do it twice a year. And every time it's different speakers and takeaways. And just so you know, if you cannot attend live, we do offer the recordings at a ridiculously low price if you get them right after you get your free pass. So it literally comes down to like $150 a recording, and there's 25 recordings, so you can kind of do the math there. So it's really ridiculous, but because we want to make sure that you that those are watching us have the opportunity to watch the presentations either again or the ones that you missed. And we actually turn them into podcasts too. So if you're one of those folks that are in the car a lot, you can still listen to the presentations after the fact. So again, you don't have to be live the entire time, but we are giving away a trip to Mexico for the most engaged attendee. And then we're also giving a few other prizes away for those that come in second and third for just showing up and participating. Because I'll tell you, like Sherilyn said, seeing people in your audience, whether it's virtual, right, or seeing them in the chat, making comments and liking and the hearts going up the page, that really empowers that speaker to just be their best. And when it's crickets out there, it's kind of hard to deliver the content. Don't you agree?
Yes, yes, yes. And I love what you said about not being a solopreneur. I think that that's really what your mainstay is. Today, by the way, is World Mental Health Day across the planet. And so we're doing a lot of support around mental health issues. And so one of the things that we'll talk about at the event this weekend is to give people an experience so that they can utilize it in their own work and create that success that every entrepreneur is after. And doing it together in a supportive environment is what's important.
Excellent. And I can't wait to see your presentation. I'm actually speaking as well, Cheryl Lynn, and I'm going to be
Great.
speaking on 10 tech tools that your business cannot live without. So I'm going to help all of the business owners out there automate things in their business, put systems in place that are going to save them time and money, but I do it without breaking your budget. And that is my claim to fame. I am the frugal techie business coach, and my purpose in life is people like myself. I've always been a solopreneur and I've always been the lone ranger. And now I'm starting to get a team around me. I'm starting to find systems to help me automate things so that I can do other things that I said. I can hang out with my kids. I can hang out with my family. And you know what? Things run on autopilot when you get it done right. So I'm going to give away some of my secrets that I use to run my business while I'm scuba diving in Cozumel in November. So you think I'm home working, you're going to think I'm home implementing all this cool stuff when really I'm going to be 100 feet down looking at cool turtles and fish and things. But that's the magic of automation.
I get to work all of December in Florida at our second property, so it's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
it's the privilege of being
Yep.
connected in groups like you have, so that we have the tools and the success to drive us to the next planet, whatever we're looking to do. So,
Yeah.
how cool, Cozumel, huh? Scuba diving, good for you.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite places to go. So I'm super excited about that. And my boyfriend's doing his certification dives there with me. So finally found a man that actually likes to scuba dive.
Oh, that's so cool. Good for you.
Well, guys, we want to wrap this up again. Mark on your calendar. What do we say? 12:10 on Friday Eastern Standard Time, because we have people from India and Canada and UK and Australia, the United States. I was looking at the list of all the countries that are participating. Remember, we run this in Eastern Standard Time. Grab your free pass at MBX SBVE. It's right down below us, right down there. And then, like I said, who do you know that could really use some mindset, some skill set, some leadership, some, whatever it might be, some motivation, some communication skills, follow up? We got it all. We have it all. So, anyway, something for everybody at the SBVE. Cheryl Lynn, I cannot wait to hear your presentation, and I'll see you on Friday.
Thank you. I cannot wait to give it. Take care. Have a great week.
All right.